Hi everyone. In this video we're going to see how to record and manage payments in iExcel Core. When you receive payments from a customer, iExcel Core allows you to directly record the payment against the related invoice that the client has. This helps keep all our financial data in sync and ensure we report showing an accounting and outstanding balance at all time. iExcel Core has the capability, one, of receiving the full amount of the invoice, and two, we're able to receive partial amount for the invoice. For now, we're looking at payment that has been received in the bank. So once we've seen there's a payment, we look at the particular invoice, and then we pick, say, the invoice that was paid. If you click on invoice 225, we are able to receive payment for this particular invoice, which was 3,900. Receiving payments, we just click on receive payment. When the payment was received, like I said, we can be able to change the amount if the invoice was partially paid. The mode of how the invoice was paid, this could be through bank, so there are no payment modes for this invoice. Therefore, we are able to go back to the particular invoice and edit that invoice to ensure we pick a particular payment mode. And this point, we pick a bank as a payment mode for that invoice, and we save that invoice. Coming back again to the invoice, now we are able to say the amount was received. Now we have payment mode, which is bank. If there's a reference here, we can put whatever reference that we have from the bank or statement, any admin note on that particular invoice. We can, if I check here, we will not send the invoice payment record to customer contact. If I do not check it, the system will automatically send. And then when I save, the system will make the payment for that particular invoice. This will be the receipt, and this will be the payment for that particular invoice. When you go back to the invoices, we'll see that invoice now has been marked as paid. We can, in an occasion, like I said, have the invoice partially paid. So we can have a payment for that invoice, which is through bank, but instead of the entire amount, let's say only 20,460 was paid, and then that is saved. System recognizes a partial payment, the payment receipt that we received, and then the payment is here, which was received. If we go back to the invoice, we will see a fulfillment that the invoice was partially paid by the client. So this invoice is partially paid. So an invoice can be fully paid, and an invoice can be partially paid for purposes of iExcel Core. And then the status of all the invoices will be shown, whether it's an invoice is unpaid, it's partially unpaid, or fully paid. We're able to send the documentation, whether it's a receipt. Once we make the payment, we can view and create delivery vouchers or any other thing and send to the client from here. So that's how we receive payment in iExcel Core, whether it's partially or a full payment, and the system is able to record that particular payment. That marks the end of payment on iExcel Core. Thank you for watching.